morning, all participants. Welcome to this session, a very important session on outcome-based curriculum design and implementation. And the takeaway of this session are you will be introduced to the features of outcome-based curriculum. What outcome-based curriculum is, what are its features, and how can we design outcome-based. So this session will introduce you to what are the features of outcome-based curriculum. You have been apprised, you know what is outcome-based education. Now to implement outcome-based education, we need to design the curriculum, teaching, curricular activities, and so on. Then, in order to design outcome-based curriculum, what we need to know or what are the guidelines of OBE model as regard graduate attributes and learning outcomes. How graduate attributes, you will know what are graduate attributes, how graduate attributes contribute design of outcome-based curriculum, incorporate, how to incorporate 21st century's employability skills in the curriculum, and then implementation of OB outcome-based curriculum. Please appreciate the philosophy of outcome-based education can be implemented only with the help of appropriately designed curriculum. You are all aware that in this age, very important for the students to acquire skills, and the basic important skills which are required for any kind of profession, for any kind of career, are critical thinking, good communication, good team player, and being a creator of new environment, new things, and so on. So I have summed up these in this slide that the modern day student should be develop these competence of being a creator, a collaborator, a communicator, and a critical thinker. Now, many students have natural talents, but their number is not enough to sustain the economic development of any society. So we need to imbibe these skills through educational system in the maximum number of students, learners possible. Now the issue is, how can these skills be taught and imbibed among the students? Among those who may not have natural gifts to the extent being good creators. Now this is possible, by our education system, if the educational system has an appropriate curriculum. Now, what do you mean by curriculum? It's very important to appreciate this thing because it carries different meanings sometimes. Many people think syllabus is the curriculum. No. Curriculum refers to the academic content, processes and practices by which students learn, gain knowledge, and develop skills under the auspices of the institute. So curriculum contains the syllabus, and the processes of teaching, learning, delivery, assessment, and related activities which student undergoes in an institution, all taken together as they are what is known as a curriculum. So it involves syllabus, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, which are required for developing the full potential of the students. Outcome-based education says that the institution must try to develop the student capabilities and competencies wholly as a full holistically. So curriculum helps us. Once we decide the curriculum, then it helps us to the standard of our teaching learning standard of our assessment, what kind of resources will be required, what kind of teaching learning methodology will be required. As for example, yesterday we discussed there are situations where we need project-based learning. There are situations where important lecture become important. There are situations become some courses may have laboratory and so on. So it is all a part of the curriculum. So when I say outcome-based curriculum is designed according to philosophy of outcome-based education, OBE. Now, OBE is student-centric learning approach. That means it is the focus of the education process to ensure the student learns things. Whatever is done is carried out or prepared in such a way that student remain the central focus, which provides a roadmap and guideline for preparing outcome-based curriculum. OBE model requires that we first decide what we want our student to learn and demonstrate on completion of the course or program. You have been already apprised that outcome in the philosophy of outcome-based education, it is first we have to decide whatever we want our students to learn. And then the student has to demonstrate whether he has learned what we wanted, then express the objectives and outcome of the course. You have to design the objectives. And the outcome of the course, as for example, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior, the student should imbibe and demonstrate a successful completion of the course or the program. You also know the difference between a course and a program terminology in outcome-based education. Course is a unit and program consists of several units. Now, so if you look at give you a view, outcome-based education model components, it has component, it has a vision and mission, it has program objectives, it has program outcomes, it has course outcomes, then it has assessment methods, then it has the process of designing it. Then there is a graduate attributes. Graduate attributes are what are the qualities, what are the features of students learning, whether he is what kind of qualities I want my students to acquire. So outcome-based education emphasizes what we want our student to know and be able to do as regard knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior. This is what is known, and this is also known as the educational outcome. Then how can you best help student to achieve it? It is a delivery. How will you know what they have achieved? That means assessments. How do you demonstrate improvement, analyze? Improvement is a very central point of outcome-based education. So this provides us guidelines. This provides us the norms of designing the curriculum. So when I say outcome-based education framework, it has outcome-based education, what the student should achieve. Then outcome-based curriculum, how to make student achieve what we had planned. That is the curriculum. And then outcome-based learning teaching, that means how to measure what the student has achieved. Then outcome-based assessment. Then why the student cannot achieve the outcome-based quality. That means the onus of improving and learning is on implementing effectively is on the institution. And that we can do only with the curriculum. So curriculum is designed keeping in view the principles, the philosophy of outcome-based order. That is, what kind of vision we have as regards students, what kind of attainment we want our student to acquire, what kind of progression he should have in his life. So those things, when they are considered, and then we come up with a curriculum. The curriculum should be standard. It should admit what our students expected to know, understand, communicate, and apply as a result of their learning. So this is what will guide us. How will students learn demonstrate, assess, and evaluate what they have done? That means the curriculum should provide us the evidence. That means assessment. Similarly, what strategies will teachers and students use to teach and learn effectively? What sources are available and required to support students in their learning, indicating that when you have a curriculum, all these things should be specified. Only then the curriculum would be said to be according to the outcome-based principles. Then the curriculum, there are various programs. We have BTech, we have MSc, we have MBA, we have certificates, we have diplomas. So the attributes of any curriculum which we designed for various programs should be balanced. That means it should be up to the level of the students in terms of their learning, not only cognitive learning, not only intellectual learning, but also emotional. Then it should be rigorous. That means seeks to develop interdisciplinary habits of mind, subject matter. Then it should be coherent. Coherent in the sense that it links between the various subjects that is are part of the program. Then if you appropriate to the level is, for example, is certificate level, diploma level, if you focus, as for example, it's a civil engineering, mechanical engineering. So the curriculum should be focused and relevant to the discipline that we have. So outcomes of the implemented curriculum should be measurable. Another important thing is the outcome, the teaching, what we do by implementing our curriculum should be measurable. So measurements can be made via outcome-based education approach. So when all these things are considered, then we can say, then all the conditions are met, we can say the curriculum is called outcome-based curriculum. Another important issue which you should keep in mind, that student learning is not only in the classroom itself, as we discussed yesterday. His learning is also self-learning. His learning is also from the environment. His learning is also from the peer and so on. So this slide tells you the how to evolve the curriculum where the student is learns. Though the curriculum should encapsulate the workplace skill development, communication skill development, learning from the textbook, social skills, interdisciplinary connections, teacher-generated material, and so on. So please appreciate the extent, the content, and the rigor of the curriculum, which is need to be prepared, which need to take into account the modern ways of learning by the student. So the curriculum design via OBE framework says we look at the vision and mission of the institution, of the university, and look at the program objectives. That means the program for which you are designing the curriculum, what are the objectives of that? Which means when a student goes, becomes an alumni, he is working, what should be his learning, what should he demonstrate, what should be the objective of my career, what I want the student to be. So program objectives, the curriculum should look at these. Then program outcomes. Program outcomes are the learning of the student as regard knowledge, skill, development, etc. That means on graduation, what should be his attributes? Then what are the attributes when he becomes a, let's say, enter real life? Then how do I specify my intended program outcome with the help of syllabus? Syllabus will consist of various courses. Each course will have learning outcomes. So all these things when kept in mind then lead us to the curriculum which we characterize as outcome-based curriculum. So thought process starts from the top and ends at the level of courses. Now, for this purpose, now in order to come out with a document, in order to incorporate what is society wants, we define what are known as graduate attributes. Graduate attributes means what are the abilities, knowledge, and skill that students should develop and acquire as a result of the education and learnings on completing the program of study. Please appreciate these things, that they are the basic. Now I will in a moment, I'll tell you graduate attribute encapsulate the requirements of the industry and society. Graduate attributes again are the qualities, abilities. The graduate attributes also represent the broad qualities that are necessary for students to contribute meaningfully to the society and country. That means what kind of students you want to train? You want to train engineers, good engineers, competent engineers, skillful engineers, innovative engineers. So innovative engineer, it is attribute. A good human being, it's an attribute. So we see that how we decide as to what students are expected to learn, demonstrate, and achieve in life. For this is the input comes from the graduate attributes. So graduate attributes may be defined for the art students, for science students, for engineering students, medical students, and so on. So GA help to specify the outcomes and achievement that we expect our students to acquire. If I say my engineer should have he should be ethical, that means be moral is an attribute. He should be innovative and research oriented. That means this is the attribute we want it. Another thing is graduate attribute are defined to decide. Now, please see here. Just before I do this thing, just have a look on this. Graduate attributes are good knowledge of discipline. My student should be bright. They should innovate in a problem solver. Then design. This is what then he should be a lifelong learner. He should be a good communicator. These are the attributes. When I say these attributes are required in order that we have successful and competent engineers or competent artists or competently trained students. So graduate distributors are defined to decide what the students are expected to learn and demonstrate. Outcome-based education processes and practices help to achieve the objectives and goals as incorporated in the graduate attributes. Now say the industry wants engineers who are good communicators. That means the being a good communicator is an attribute, graduate attribute of the student. Engineers want he should be innovative. This is another attribute. Industry want he should be a lead. He should be with entrepreneurial mindset. He This is another graduate attribute. So attributes are the qualities. So curriculum is designed in such a way so that the attributes that we have designed are embedded into it and can be delivered. So please remember, graduate attributes are very important because they provide a lead what kind of syllabi should be there, what kind of curriculum, co-curricular activities there should be there, and so on. So why define graduate attributes? See, GA focus on how the student should be trained. Because if I want my student to be good team players, then I should focus on this. If I want my students to be lifelong learners, then I should focus on this. So GA decides on the students should be trained so that they develop an inquiring mind, be well-rounded individuals and dynamic professionals, grow as concerned citizens during their studies at the institute. These are the graduate attributes help us to imbibe these things. Now look at this. When I say what are the employability skills, analytical 21st century skills, they are the employability skills. And industry and society says, I want engineers who are civically engaged and socially responsible. I want engineers, yeah, I want graduates who are with growth mindset. I want graduate attributes who are creative, who are problem solvers. This is what the industry wants. These are the attributes. I want these attributes to be expressed in the form where they can be implemented in the educational environment. I say they are the graduate attributes. So the requirements of the industry and the society are expressed, are articulated, they are expressed as graduate attributes. Please focus on this slide. This slide gives you a very clear idea as to the graduate attributes. They encapsulate the requirements or the requirements of the industry and the society. Now, I want to use these graduate attributes to design my curriculum. So, knowledge contents, societal requirements, industry needs, global necessities, social need, they are expressed as graduate attributes. Please appreciate these things. But qualities, they are expressed as graduate attributes. So OB helps to achieve the goals, graduate attributes. So societal requirement, industry need, and employability skills that are summed up in graduate attributes, which are then realized by outcome-based education approach. And graduate attribute provide lead to prepare outcome-based curriculum. So we say the curriculum that is prepared should meet the graduate attributes which we have decided. And we have decided these attributes by keeping in view what the society needs, what the industry needs, what the environment needs to make it a. Now, just recalls teachers who are diploma in the diploma stream, they will realize NBA has specified these graduate attributes. Basic and discipline specific knowledge. That means he should have good knowledge. He should be knowledgeable. He's a bright, properly taught. That is graduate attribute 1. He should be a solver, the graduate attribute 2. He should be a design and development solutions. He should be able to use engineering tools. These are the 7 qualities, attributes which NBA has specified for diploma level students. They are called the graduate attributes. So education programs are designed to achieve these attributes by expressing them as program outcomes, as POs can be assessed, measured, and achieved. Please remember, graduate attributes are only the let's say qualities. They are not measurable. They are not. They are only let's say is a wish कि हमारा स्टूडेंट प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर होना चाहिए. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर कैसे होना चाहिए? How should I be able to measure that? That is done when we express the program outcomes of corresponding to each of the graduate attributes. Now, the graduate attributes for engineering, here are the 12 graduate attributes specified by NBA. Now, please see here, 5 of these, first 5, they are regarding discipline. Next 2 are regarding the environment, society. And next 5 are concerning an individual. Please appreciate. You can say 12 is general, it comes almost everywhere, but 4 are the individual, characteristics of the individual, 2 are for the society concern, and 5 are for the discipline. Now, kindly appreciate. Now, these are the graduate. In this, when I write these graduate attributes, I am incorporating student learning as regard knowledge, student attitude and behavior as regards his personal attributes, say ethical, and then his behavior with respect to the society. Now, when I take these graduate attributes into account, I decide beforehand, these are the intended ones. Then these attributes help us to design what kind of syllabus should be there, how the syllabus should be implemented, how the curriculum should have co-curricular activities. For example, NSS is a part of our curriculum, and NSS is required for the society. Similarly, kindly appreciate, we decide the OBE says decide the graduate attributes. From graduate attribute, decide the program outcomes. From program outcome, design your curriculum, design your syllabus. Now, so we say we have to, in order to be able to do these things, we decide the graduate education learning outcome of the student. And learning outcomes, as you know, they are, for example, there are knowledge learning outcomes, there are learning outcomes individually, as I mentioned earlier, and there are learning outcomes as regard this thing. From where do they come from? So student learning outcomes are the intended learning outcomes which provide the roadmap for the design and preparation of the curriculum, and then what kind of teaching and learning activities, and what kind of assessment and evaluation strategies. Let us say I want to judge the problem solving skill of the student. No examination can check that. I want to assess the innovative skill of the student, how much he has learned for the critical thinking skill. No examination can tell us. There are assessment methods like rubrics. There are other methods which are specific to the skill that we want to ascertain. And this is what, when I say curriculum, in curriculum, student learning will be dependent on the curriculum, will dependent on the instruction, it dependent on the assessment. So kindly appreciate the student learning outcome. So outcome-based curriculum will be guided, will be decided, or will have a mission of the program. Then it will have the program management objectives. Then it will satisfy. Will be designed to satisfy the program outcomes. Then program outcomes will help us to decide the kind of syllabus and the kind of delivery, assessment, and the goal is to continuous improvement. Because outcome-based education says the measurement and the continuous improvement are the integral part of the teaching methodology. So curriculum has to be such which helps us to train the student and is such that it can lead to measurable results. Now, graduate attributes aid to design PEOs and program outcomes. And objectives of GA are implemented via program outcome, which can be assessed and measured. Now, NBA uses the term BA, GA, and PO interchangeably. You will find many people, not differentiate. POs are measurable, and graduate attributes are simply saying a good innovator, a good human being, like that. So this is the difference. So examples of program objectives are, now I'm deciding beforehand what kind of student I should train. I should say he should be achiever and successful in the chosen field. This is my objective. I want to have it. Then my curriculum will be such that it will help me to implement this. I want my, let's say, engineer or graduate to be innovative, creative, and problem solver. I want it. That means this is a graduate attitude. Now, in order to do this thing, what kind of components, what kind of content, delivery of the curriculum should be. Similarly, I want my graduate attribute should be social and caring and ethical. Then he should be good communicator, self-reliant, and collaborator. So in order to do this thing, what kind of curriculum I should? Now these are providing me a lead. These are providing me a hint to prepare the curriculum. And so then after this is something for the alumni. When student has passed out. Student have passed out, I want him to be a lifelong learner. I want him to be a positive mindset. And now when I say lifelong learner, my curriculum should be such. My assignment should be such in order that. Then the program outcomes, as I mentioned, is another integral part. Program outcome statements which express what a student is expected to learn and demonstrate in completing the program. A diploma, BTech, BA, MSc, etc. So when I design my curriculum, I will be Curriculum will be for diploma, curriculum for the BA program, for MSc. Then set of POs. See, as I mentioned earlier, the student, we want graduate attributes of NBA. There will be correspond to each graduate attributes, correspond to each graduate attribute, there will be program outcomes. Program outcome will indicate how will you attain that particular graduate attribute. So graduate attributes, see set of POs which are common across set of programs, say diploma in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, are referred to as generic or simply program outcomes. That means we have educated a student in mechanical engineering, we have educated a student in civil engineering, and then the student, what he has learned out of that, that is what will be specific program outcomes. Specific program outcome are relevant to specific program. Generic POs are specified by the accreditation agency and PSOs are specified by the department or institute. So now please see here, NBA has specified POs 12. Now these are same for engineering B program. These are same for all the engineering program. But when it comes to computer engineering, you can specify something yourself. Whether it will focus will be more on artificial intelligence, focus will be more on cloud computing, that will be elective papers. Now please see here, the NBA or these that is it. NBA is only for engineering. So you want to do it for history. You want to do it for environmental science. You can design these program outcomes yourself, keeping in view the guidelines which I have expressed earlier: discipline, self, and society. Now, once having done that, see, that means it's the intended outcomes. Please see that. These intended outcomes will lead us to decide what should be the content of my syllabus. If I am saying my syllabus should take into account the environmental concerns, then I should have a course on environment. If I want my students should be trained in the hands-on experience, then I should have laboratory or workshop. That is, now I repeat, we decide curriculum is decided by our intended POs and our objectives for the alumni or for our pass out students. Now see here, now here says these are diploma program outcomes, basic and discipline specific knowledge. Then students should be able to apply knowledge of basic mathematics, science, engineering, problem analysis, then all those things. Now these outcomes which I have written, these will help us to design the curriculum and syllabus. So curriculum framework will be strategy and guideline to develop academic and related practices to enable students to gain knowledge and skills, igniting his higher thinking skills. Now please see here, in this outcomes, the design part is there. In this outcome, the society is there. In this outcome, lifelong learning is there. If this is what our intended outcomes are, then my curriculum should be prepared, should have all those components. So, elements of curriculum framework are aims and objective, that is vision and mission, contents and subject matter, discipline, methods of implementation, teaching learning processes, assessment and evaluation, improvement mechanism by extracurricular activities, by co-curricular activities. They will constitute the curriculum. Now, what has enabled us to do it? Because we decided program outcome. So graduate attributes guide in curriculum design. Curriculum design will have what is the purpose of the program, what are the teaching and learning structure, what are the teaching and learning methodology, what are the resources required. For example, lab. for example, playgrounds, and so on. Graduate attributes are the knowledge. Graduate attributes are an essential input to the curriculum design. So graduate attributes and education curriculum, this slide will make it clear. It will sum up what is to be done. Graduate attributes are intellectual, professional, personal, societal need as expressed as graduate attributes. From graduate attributes, we go to program outcomes. From program outcomes, graduate attributes also decide program objectives, which are the what the student is demonstrating out 4 or 5 years. Then core design and learning outcomes, then assessment tasks, assessment criteria, whether it leads to desired learning of the student or not. If yes, your objective is achieved. If no, we look at the course design. We look at the other curriculum design, syllabus, etc. Now, please see here, this slide brings out the significance of preparing the curriculum based on outcome based principles, and this gets initiated through graduate attributes. Now, the teaching objectives are also part of the curriculum. See, curriculum, because when we have to achieve something, when I want to student to be trained. So I have to decide the teaching objectives. So curriculum also gives us the guidelines of teaching objectives. Now the teaching intention, it is indicate the one of the specific area that a teacher intend to cover. Some examples of course objectives. This you are doing already, just do that. So we say in the learning outcomes have to be designed, they are at the course level and at the program, at the syllabus level, that is a content courses and then integrated one. So learning outcomes are statements. How do you do that? Now please see here, before I go over here, I want to share with you the outcomes which are prepared. They help us to design the outcome based curriculum. They play a role in the planning process, because I have decided that these are the outcomes. Then identification of the type of graduate, identification of the outcomes of the educational process, identification of curriculum content, student progress through the curriculum, and then identification of appropriate educational strategies and identification of teaching methods. This is what is specified once we have come to a decision of deciding the program outcomes. Now, learning outcomes, which we are saying, the learning outcomes will be at the lesson level. It could be at the module level, it could be at the course level, it could be at the program level, it could be at the degree level outcomes. See, when I say degree level, higher level. Here I have given, see, as we go higher up the ladder, the learning outcome and program outcome need to be defined appropriate to the program that we have. That means learning outcome of the certificate program, learning outcome of the degree program, and so on. How do you prepare learning outcomes? Because the learning outcomes, when prepared, learning outcomes are the intended learning outcomes. Now, how do I prepare those things? So, because they are measurable, please note this thing. Learning outcomes are measurable. The curriculum that we design should have the components which are measurable. The syllabus is a part of the curriculum. Syllabus consists of courses. Courses have learning outcomes, and the learning outcomes must be measurable. How do we prepare these things? How do we do these things? So Bloom taxonomy is the foundation of outcome-based education. Now, when I say I want my student to be good team players, a person of integrity. I want my student to be a good evaluator. How will you be able to measure this? So this means We should know the mechanism of assessing the student learning, measuring the student learning, which will help us to implement the curriculum that we had decided. So, we always also call as intended student learning outcomes, as I mentioned earlier, also, or intended learning outcomes, or intended program outcomes. Intended means what we have decided. So, how to do it is can be done with the help of Bloom taxonomy. You may have been introduced with Bloom taxonomy, and Bloom taxonomy is very powerful methodology which has the discipline intellectual content, which has the emotional content, like say feeling, like say ethics, which has the psychomotor manual content. So in order to prepare the learning outcomes, we take the help of Bloom taxonomy, which enable these things. Now the issue is how to prepare the curriculum which involves higher thinking skills and implement them. Now you will recall that when I say learning, cognitive learning has, in cognitive learning, we have creativity as levels, creativity, evaluation, analysis, apply, I'm coming down. So these are the higher order thinking skills. Now the curriculum that I design, now if it is for a certificate level or diploma level or degree level or PhD level, we have 4 levels. What kind of teaching curriculum you would recommend? Obviously, you would recommend a curriculum at the MTech or BTech level where student develops creativity, where student acquires research acumen, where student is trained in problem solving, where student is made to learn those things which will enable him to accept bigger and bigger and bigger responsibility in the society, which means the the curriculum and its implementation should be such that as we go higher up the program level, certificate, diploma, etc., the learning of the student should also enhance, should also go higher up in the level, and a student we expect a BTech or a MTech to be a creative. Now, no one stops it being creative at the diploma level. No one stops at the certificate level. But the point is, see, there are natural talents. Natural talents, OBE says, we can teach to enhance the natural talents and develop the talents of those students who do not have, let's say, good level of these talents. Now, every learner, nature has given these attributes to every individual, every student. OBE philosophy is every student is a learner and a achiever. It is a responsibility of the institution to do so. So now I want to imbibe higher thinking skills in the student. I want to design a curriculum which helps me to enhance and imbibe higher thinking skills in the students. Please appreciate this thing. It's very important. See, when I say OBE curriculum, you as a professor or as a assistant professor, you are developing the syllabus, you are developing the curriculum. But OBE says your curriculum should be such that the focus is on the higher thinking skills of the students. Higher thinking skill, I repeat, are see it's just again notation, analysis, evaluation, creativity, and critical thinking. How to incorporate these attributes in the curriculum? Very important. Otherwise, curriculum preparing syllabus is no big thing. Now see here, while defining learning outcome, focuses on the learner. First year, you have learning outcomes, second year, third year, diploma, certificate. Emphasis on the learner's ability to understand, do, and demonstrate something, right? Learner outcomes are designed to facilitate assessments. ऐसा काम नहीं है कि स्टूडेंट कर भी ना पाए, उसको असेस करना, उसको एनालाइज करके एवेल्युएट करना, उसमें मेजरमेंट करना और इम्प्रूवमेंट करना. जो इम्प्रूवमेंट करने की टेक्निक्स फर्स्ट ईयर में या जब सर्टिफिकेट में होगी वो थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट. जब वो ही गोज टू इन द बीटेक फाइनल, दैट विल बी स्लाइटली डिफरेंट. So please appreciate these things because that's where curriculum comes. First year curriculum, second year curriculum, third year curriculum. You have been talking about syllabus. I am talking about the resources also. So a learning outcome, it should be measurable and specific. Now a learning outcome is prepared with the help of Bloom works. As we call them as action words. This you must have done in the session on Bloom taxonomy and preparing the learning outcome. Now I am using those learning outcomes to come out with a curriculum which achieves those learning outcomes. So we say the learning outcome will have action word, which is a Bloom word, what is to be done, what is the level to be done, and under what condition is to be done. So these things, when specified, they help us to prepare a learning outcome for the student. So this is normally we say they should be smart, specific. Now, how I write them? So we write via statements. Outcomes are specified in terms of statement. Statement describe what students are expected to know and be able to do on completion of education activity. Outcome include a range of knowledge, skills, attitude, and behavior. Statements are verifiable. Please see here, the curriculum that we prepared must be such that it leads to continuous improvement. Now, for continuous improvement, we should be able to measure things. What we cannot measure, we cannot improve. So whatever I am writing with the purpose that I can do it. So a learning outcome which will help us to achieve the curriculum should be measurable, observable, specific statement that clearly indicates what a student should know and be able to do as a result of learning. So there are outcomes for the course, there are outcomes for the program. Course outcomes refer to what student is required to demonstrate after completion of the unit or a course or a module. Course outcomes are designed for each course or module. Course outcomes are expressed as statements. Course outcomes are used to achieve program outcome, which are assessed in the form of completion. Now, when I say student is expected to learn, these are intended ones. Now, my curriculum has to achieve these things. Now, curriculum says our wish is what student want to be. We prepare the curriculum, we prepare the syllabus. And in the syllabus, we from that we say what is his learning. We use that learning to see whether course curriculum is satisfied or not. So what a student is expected to learn on completion of the course. Program, what a student is expected to learn on completing all the courses given program, that is completing the full program. Course outcomes help to achieve the program outcomes. So course outcomes, now when having designed the course outcomes, see when I want to see vision and mission and graduate attributes, they helped us to prepare the program outcomes. Now, graduate attributes were what we had decided students to learn. We had decided what should be syllabus, etc. So those help us to achieve the program outcomes, and program outcomes are achieved with the help of syllabus or the course outcomes. So the decision to decide what kind of curriculum is required is dependent on the vision, mission, and graduate attributes Vision mission are of the institution, and graduate attributes are from the society. Once they have help us to decide program outcome and COs, they help us decide the curriculum. So we say design of achieving the curriculum that we have done starts from lower to upper. Because curriculum satisfies the vision mission, curriculum prepared to satisfy the vision mission and graduate attributes. And then the practical implementation comes with the help of graduate attributes. So curriculum leads to the vision and mission. From curriculum, we prepare the syllabus. From syllabus, we prepare the course outcomes for all the courses. Then courses outcomes lead to the achievement of the program outcomes. The program outcomes help us to achieve the objectives that we have decided. They are related to the mission and then the vision. So the curriculum is designed with the help of what our intention was, expressed as vision mission, what the society wanted, expressed as graduate attributes, and then we start in the reverse direction. Curriculum design is top down, starting with vision mission and graduate attributes, and purpose of the curriculum being served, that is achieved, is bottom up. That's how this will be like this. So design of syllabus using Bloom taxonomy. See, syllabus Bloom taxonomy can be used to design the kind of syllabus we want it. Bloom taxonomy course design. What are the courses we are using? What are the infrastructure we are using? What are the labs we are using? A core design may be certificate level, diploma level, BTech level, and so on. Depending on what you want a student of that program to learn. That is like this. So learning may be classified into 3 domains: knowledge and skills, cognitive, may attitude and behavior, affective, and manual and physical skills, psychomotor. Now please see here. आप कहेंगे सर इनका कनेक्शन क्या है करिकुलम से? इनका कनेक्शन ये है. You want your curriculum should be value based curriculum. Your education system should be value based. How will you do that? By giving a course on values does not make a student a, let's say, a good human being. See, similarly, you want to give a course on motivation. Giving a course on a motivation by an industry does not make a student a motivator. So learning outcome, which can be designed with the help of Bloom taxonomy. Now I want to prepare my curriculum which has human value-based component. I want to prepare my curriculum which has use of laboratories, equipment, precision. Then I have to design my curriculum, which would mean, see, when a student is working in the lab, let's say a mechanical engineering lab, he has to do a lot of manual work. If he's working in a computer lab, he has to do manual as well as intellectual work. There also he has to do all these things. So the point I'm saying is, when I am preparing my curriculum, I want my student to be a holistic, developed individual. That means his intellectual ability, his mental ability, and his physical ability should all be developed, which means cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. So cognitive is mental, affective is your ethical, your feeling, emotion, and psychomotor is this. So the curriculum that I design, now when I want to have a training of the student, for example, take a MBBS student. Student has to learn stethoscope. Student has to learn other instruments, look at the chemistry lab. Now these things in the curriculum, they get reflected with the help of Bloom taxonomy domains. So my curriculum should be such. If there is a lab component, I want a student to be a precision reading taker. That means there will be psychomotor component. I want a student to be a good team player. There will be affective component. I want a student to be good in discipline. There will be a cognitive component. So all these components contribute to design of the curriculum. Now, this thing we have seen the lower levels are the lower order thinking, and upper three levels are the higher order thinking. And difficulty increases as we go up. Now, see here, cognitive levels help to decide what kind of thing might you want student to be able to do at the end of your course. So there are lower order thinking skills, there are higher order things. When I design my curriculum, then what kind of skills I want my student to learn. My curriculum that I've designed should be based on the outcomes which correspond to higher order thinking. And higher order thinking means taking the upper three levels. Upper three level taking means the outcome designed accordingly. OB and higher thinking levels can be embedded in curriculum via learning outcomes. I want my curriculum to be such that my students are trained in the higher thinking skills. So I can do this by embedding these in my curriculum. Higher order thinking skills can be embedded into curriculum via learning outcomes. Teachers should teach students about higher order thinking skill, what it entails, its benefit as well as strategies. This enables learner to be aware of and understand their own strengths and challenges with regard to higher order thinking and be better prepared to tackling these challenges. The reason being, once our curriculum is focused on developing higher order thinking skills in the student, पहले तो हमको डिजाइन वैसे करना है, फिर हमको डिलीवर वैसे करना है, फिर हमें implement similarly, then we are doing it. Similarly, effective domain. How will you incorporate effective domain in your curriculum? Through learning outcomes. This domain includes the manner in which we deal with things emotionally, such as feelings, value-based system, emotions, again through learning outcome, and they become part of the curriculum. So psychomotor include manual activities, and these skills require practice is measured in terms of speed, precision, distance, techniques, and these things. In my curriculum, for example, you know that curriculum for medical students, curriculum for engineering students, the syllabus is different, but the learning of the skill, let us say, of using instruments, learning as a skill of being a team player, learning as skills of being a rational thinker, they are same everywhere. So we observe that in order the curriculum to have these things, it's important that we incorporate these things. Because psychomotor domain concerns endurance, strength, speed, flexibility, precision. This must be incorporated in the curriculum. And in the engineering lab, we can do so with the help of the laboratories, with the help of practicals, with the help of, let's say, assignments which need use of equipment and so on. So intended POs and PEOs, once they have been prepared, they help to design the outcome-based curriculum. I repeat, we decide beforehand, then express them as POs and PEOs. Then we say how these can be achieved, and that leads to the outcome-based curriculum. So program outcomes incorporating cognitive, affective, and psychomotor components are decided and designed first. Having identified program outcome, the next step is curriculum development. Should have component to develop all the intended outcomes as per our program outcome. It can be coursework or activities like assignment, similar projects, seminars, reports. All the components need to be evaluated. Then decide course outcome for each course activity. That will be our complete curriculum, outcome-based curriculum. Now, course syllabus design using, how do you design course? Each Bloom domain consists of levels: cognitive 6 levels, affective 5 levels, psychomotor 5 levels. Each of the level has action verbs. Now these action verbs, learning outcome are designed using action verbs. So action verbs, you must have introduced all these things. Now the process for designing the outcome-based curriculum would be institution vision mission, department vision mission, then program one, program two, there are multiple program, then each program will have POs, course outcomes, and so on. Now please see here that the complete process for designing the outcome-based curriculum. And I have tried to explain to you the in detail what each one of these involves. Now, I cannot give you an example, let's say just like a example, because this is something process is explained and you can implement in your class. Then the curriculum that you have, there will be curriculum which emphasizes the intellectual component. There will be component which emphasizes more on psychomotor component. Now see here I have taken just curricular element like theory, core subjects, labs, projects, extracurricular activity, field work, role play, depending upon the program, whether it's engineering program, law program, medical program, MBS program. Now see here, every curriculum will have many components. I have listed few. You can think of more. Now, each one of them will focus on developing what level, what domain of student learning. Some theory core paper will help the mental, their mental emphasis on mental learning. There is a effective also. Now, there may be higher, there may be lower. Labs, there is a lot of effective component. User laboratories, high. So I have just given you this illustration to indicate the high level, medium level of the relevance of the components of the curriculum as regard the learning of the student and so on. So this map, now how can you prepare the map? To prepare this map, you need a team working. Get together those teachers who are teaching a particular course. Let them think what is the intellectually oriented, heavily intellectually oriented, what is let's say emotionally oriented, what is psychomotor oriented, and so on. So use these such kind of maps. They provide an overview of structure of the curriculum. Now please see here, what kind of curriculum will it be? Provide an overview of the structure of the curriculum and the contribution of individual courses to the goals of the program. Which program will have more emphasis, affective, intellectual, or psychomotor? Labs will have more emphasis on psychomotor. Identify program strength, student learning outcome that are thoroughly addressed. What is the emphasis there? Specify teaching learning assessment tool, which methods are useful. Indicate how program course outcome to be designed and implemented. Help departments identify gaps, learning outcomes that are addressed by only few courses, advising tools and that provide students with an overview of the whole role of each course in the curriculum and why some courses should be taken in a particular order. So then curriculum mapping helps to answer the question, do all key courses address at least one outcome? So you have maybe depending upon if there is a course that does not address any of the outcome, that the course should not be included. Then courses included should be those which are meeting the intended learning outcomes, course curriculum. Do multiple offerings of the same course address the same outcome at the same level? Do some outcomes get more coverage than others? Are all outcomes first introduced and then improved? Are students expected to show high levels of learning? And so on. Or do our students, see the point is this thing, once I have done this mapping with respect to the various courses, their outcomes, then I can say my curriculum is up to my expectations and it is meeting those requirements which are required for doing for doing all those things. So do all students regardless of which achieve. What do your electives? You can design elective which we can do these things individually and collectively, contribute achievement of your student learning outcome. So it is a circular product. I sum up like this: with vision, mission, and our what kind of student I want to prepare, we prepare the syllabus. Then we prepare the curriculum. Then for each curriculum component, syllabus, co-curricular activity, extracurricular activity, we prepare the learning outcomes. Those are learning outcomes we take to see whether what we have intended has been achieved or not. If achieved, if not, then there is a gap. And we fulfill that gap and bring our curriculum up to the level which we had decided should be there. I think I shall stop it here and then I will ask the thanks for your kind attention and participation. So